A brand new epic looking theme park is opening very soon in Orlando, Florida, whilst here in the UK, Rita has started testing again. Woo! There have been many first test runs as well for new rides opening around the world, including the start of the new world's tallest and fastest roller coaster, and there's been various upgrades on some unique rides around Europe, whilst other unique rides have been destroyed out of existence. It has been a strange week because all that and even more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, welcome back to the hit series Tuppa Wuppa Tuppa. This past week in theme parks, where we take a look at the news that has occurred in the theme park industry in the past 7 days. And there is quite a bit here to look at, so if you do want to skip to specific stories, use the video progress bar chapters below. And use that subscribe button as well if you haven't already. These videos do take a long time to research and create, so any support towards making more of these in the future would be greatly appreciated. Today's episode then. Usually we start with the quick fire segment where I take you through a lot of the news in quick fire, talk about some things afterwards more in depth, but this time I'm not feeling that. This week I'm feeling quite chill with all this news, you know? You can just hear the tranquility. We're going to take all of these stories as they come because some of them I don't know if they're going to be quick or whether I'm going to yap about them for 6 hours. Starting over in America with Fire Runner at Lost Island Theme Park, an RMC single rail coaster. I get to try my first one of them next month. And they have now completed track on that ride, and it does look lovely. Another new roller coaster, Quantum Accelerator at Six Flags New England, that has supposedly started testing, and I say supposedly because there's no actual video proof. I'm just going off what people are saying. So on that one, the source is trust me, bro. Construction has just began on the brand new Spiderman themed land over in Disneyland Shanghai. Set to have this really cool looking roller coaster, obviously in a Spider-Man themed land themed to Spider-Man, and that does look like it's going to be great. And yeah, they've dug a single hole. So it started construction. Big Bad Wolf, The Wolf's Revenge at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg has finally opened for previews. And we've seen various different reviews coming off of that and people are enjoying the ride. I haven't actually heard the word rattle for once, which is crazy when it's a B&M coaster. But that does open in the next week or so I will talk about that more next week. Another ride that was announced to open later this week is Hersheypark's brand new S&S Scream and Swing, Twizzler's Twisted Gravity. I literally always have to search up that name because it's too much of a tongue twister for me. A Twizzler twister, if you would. So that is opening on May 24th. Disneyland California is getting ready for its 70th anniversary celebrations, even adding some like hints to the number 70 in rides like Toy Story Midway Mania and stuff, which I think is really cool. And of course they've made the classic popcorn buckets and the like sort of magic band key things, whatever it is, that I guarantee someone will buy multiple of and then sell them all on eBay. A kiddie coaster at Knott's Berry Farm called Tender Paw Twister. There's a lot of twisting today. What's going on? That ride has vallied. So we had Gold Rush and Millennium Force last week. We then had Hyperia the week before. God, what's next? Someone put a prediction in the comments. Scorpion at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay is now completely gone from the park. All of the track has been removed since last week when I reported on it last. And it's still just as sad. But what won't be sad for long is the fact that they are actually reopening Kumba, their B&M sit-down roller coaster, this summer. Announced by the park's president in a speech recently, Kumba will be returning this summer, and we're going to get more information about that very soon. I'm glad it's staying. That double corkscrew at the end is so iconic. You can't get rid of that. Tell you what shouldn't be removed either, Tiger Terror at Safariland, purely for that epic looking front car. Look at that. Well, that park's actually closing that ride for a new coaster. If it ain't got that cool of a train, I ain't going on it. A big thing this week at Cedar Point, no, not the fact that Top Thrill 2 is struggling to stay open, the fact Siren's Curse, their brand new Vekoma tilt coaster, is finally testing full circuits. And this thing looks rapid. Look at it go. Where's it getting its speed from? Obviously, the massive drop. Not only does that tilt track look terrifying, but the whole ride looks insane. As does another brand new ride for this year, Falcon's Flight. And that looks insane for very different reasons, because it's going to be the world's tallest, fastest, and longest roller coaster. I still can't believe this thing got past the actual construction phase, and it's now even made it to the testing phase. Because the first segment of the ride that has that little lift hill and you go around this very sort of low to the ground elemented bit, that sort of start portion before that massive cliff climb, yeah, it's been testing on there already, because the train has been pictured on that mid-course brake run before that cliff climb. So I wouldn't be surprised if next week or the week after I'm reporting on this exact same thing, but you're actually seeing it go down that huge drop. And then it will actually become the tallest and fastest roller coaster to exist, because right now, it's not. Sod your records, because Top Thrill 2 can have that for a week. Quickly stopping by in the neighbouring area of the UAE, Disney Abu Dhabi, of course, was announced last week, and that will be opening in 2030. But interestingly, it's since been announced it's going to be a completely indoor theme park, which Disney building an indoor theme park boggles my mind, and I'm very curious to see how the castle works with that. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see how that's done. Talking of Disney, let's head over to Disneyland Paris in Europe. Hang on, let's travel. I have travelled, where they have been working a lot on their brand new Adventure World redo of the Disney Studios park, which currently is just a construction wall haven, but for not much longer, because they have started taking the construction walls down and they've actually opened Studio One as well, now known as World Premiere, and we got our first look inside of that building as guests were allowed to walk in, and they were sort of greeted by all these staff members sort of ushering them through. They've got all these Hollywood Walk of Fame stars on the floor as well, and as you can see, it's very nicely done. And then you get to Minnie Mouse's one. What happened? It's just a nice refresh and good to see. What's good to see on the outside as well is something that a lot of people complained about at Disney Paris is now gone, and that is the scream scene that was based on Monsters Inc. You turn around and there's just Sully and Mike on the wall, like, and these people below trying to scream as loud as they can. Thank God that's gone. Although I am not thankful that this other ride at a park in France again is gone too. Over at Parc St. Paul, they have this very janky Pax Wild Train, it's called, and compared to a lot of coasters, it is just one of the roller coasters of all time. And I have ridden it, and it was extremely fun, but at the same time a little bit painful. And now that has been seen to be gone, which is kind of sad, but at the same time, is it a lifesaver? But the last one that got removed got replaced with a Mac Strike, or Mac Big Dip, or whatever you want to call it. So let's see one of them at Parc St. Paul, please. Parc Asterix have delayed their brand new roller coaster's opening date. It was supposed to open in late May, but they have now said that it's going to open in summer. Bellewaerde has had a lot of upgrades to its brand new River Rapids ride, Amazonia, and that was posted by Intamin on their Instagram. And yeah, they've done some upgrades on the friction lining for improved performance. There's a new guide rail at the half pipe entrance for better control and more swings, and then improved water pumps for faster flows and more splashes. This ride does look incredible, and I was scared when it did close for a while that it was just going to close forever. So I am glad that they are upgrading it and making it open more. Talking about upgrades, Efteling has been busy upgrading one of their new rides, Danse Macabre, the Intamin motion platform ride. Not that this has been posted officially by Intamin, but a lot of regulars to the park have realised there is a subtle change to the ride system, and it's spinning somewhat faster now. There's a few more drop elements, and also a few scenes are actually on show for a lot longer to guests. So it sounds really cool that they've actually done that. That's a concept as well, so they're obviously just trying to elevate that now they know what it can do. So maybe one day we're going to see Danse Macabre, but just spinning like a full-on intense flat ride. You're going to be spinning around the room like this, it'll be mental. Phantasialand in Germany have finally announced what they're doing with the fantasy area in the park. Sticking this construction wall up, signage has revealed that the large construction site in Wuze Tal is for new food offerings and a water playground. And I mean, what more do you want than food offerings and a water playground? Going the short distance via plane to the UK now, as we have had a pretty big week here. Not only is Hyperia at Thorpe Park now running even faster than before, as some say, because of its new wheels. I'm going to actually test that in a video coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. But also, we've had our music ripped off in an Australian theme park as they played the Hyperia soundtrack at the entrance of their theme park. We've had Chessington World of Adventures create a new hotel room that's all year round, despite the fact it's themed to Christmas. Damn, they do wish it could be Christmas every day. Blackpool Pleasure Beach are going to be reintroducing no rider tickets, so you can actually enter the park without riding things, which is so weird that that's only just come about again. A news article has been posted on the Welsh Online stating Oakwood wasn't just a theme park, it was a rite of passage and I plan to reopen it, says man. They supposedly set up an organisation and there's a few other things there that could lead to it reopening, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. Although I would love to see Megaphobia back in action, even if part of it is in my garden. We don't talk about that. Paultons Park did open their new dark ride, Ghostly Manor, a shooter ride based in Dr. Kinley's Manor with the Mac gameplay theatre style ride system, and it was a really fun ride actually. Managed to get 2 rides on it on opening day, and it was a really good day actually, so there'll be a vlog from that coming very soon, along with a full review, because I do have my few little nitpicks that I do want to talk about. So yes, subscribe so you don't miss that. But no, Paultons Park were not done there, because they announced at the end of their Superfan Day, which I was at as well, so again, thank you to Paultons for having me, that they are building a brand new Viking themed area, and they showed us the coaster and ride that is coming with it. A Gerstlauer Eurofighter and also an ART Engineering Wild Swing, both of which are steering towards that family thrill level, which I'm extremely intrigued by to see how that all comes about over the next year. Yes, it's not a Mack Striker. Yes, the Gerstlauer Eurofighter does have over-the-shoulder restraints. Yes, I'm sad, but I do understand both those choices, and I'm going to follow that construction very closely. In fact, I'm literally going to start recreating it in Planet Coaster soon. So subscribe so you don't miss that. Or check out my previous video in the top right where I discussed all of what has been announced. But what I haven't discussed properly yet is our final story from the UK. And we're heading over to Alton Towers because Rita, their intimate accelerator coaster, the mid ride, after a long period of downtime, has finally started testing again. Sorry, hang on, let me reword that. Has sadly started testing again. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if when I release this video, or maybe even a few days afterwards, if Rita has returned to the park, which means I've got to ride it all day. So that'll be happening soon. But something I am excited for is the opening of a brand new theme park, this time in Orlando. Epic Universe, the Universal Studios 4th park, over in that region of Florida, because if you're not counting Volcano, then I guess it's 3, but we're counting Volcano Bay, so it's 4. When this video is released, the opening day is only 3 days away, on May the 22nd in 2025, and it's come around so quickly. As much as it looks like an amazing theme park, there's been a few things that have been happening at the park during these technical rehearsals that have worried a lot of people, and I'm going to talk about them now. First of all, I saw a lot of things about certain rides being closed for long periods of time during the previews. You had Curse of the Werewolf, which was closed for a little while. I don't know if it still is, but apparently someone reckons there's cracks in the supports. Thuzies, eh? I forget their engineers, but there very much could be. I don't know. Minecart Madness has also had a lot of problems. It's been shut for many days during the previews, and it's obviously annoyed quite a few people. One of the most unique roller coasters they have in that park, and it would be a shame if you did go and couldn't get on it, but these things do happen in technical rehearsals. But yeah, I still get the annoyance. Battle of the Ministry recently went off a virtual queue for the first time, and it opened on a 300-minute wait. My Christ. And there has also been a noticeable smell around half of the park, but I'm going to talk about that in another video, because on opening day, instead of actually going to Epic Universe, we're going to go to Universal Studios Great Britain and film a field episode. So yeah, stay tuned for that on Thursday, I guess. Universal have been preparing for the opening of Epic Universe, though, of course, with them testing various different like fireworks shows and drones and everything in the sky, loads of lasers and lights, and they've even announced a brand new opening celebration live stream on May the 21st. Why is it on the 20th? Either way, they'll probably do that, and then probably on opening day, they'll do another celebration at the end of the day. But yeah, it is crazy to see a Universal Orlando theme park opening in literally a matter of days. As said, I won't be there for the opening, but I am going in September for the first time, so there's going to be a full vlog series from the entirety of Florida, and I'm so excited to get on all the rides at Epic. I'm going to sort of give you my most anticipated ones, I guess, which might shock you, to be fair, because probably my top most anticipated is the two dark rides. Of course, Monsters Unchained and Ministry of Magic. They both sound amazing, and I haven't done a dark ride of that level, and I'm really excited to give them a go. Stardust Races as well, of course, but one of the main things I am excited for is genuinely just stepping into Super Nintendo World, because obviously you probably tell from the whole of this video and my previous videos, my childhood mainly consisted of Nintendo games, and I loved all the Mario games, of course, even like the Mario Karts, and well, I mean, one of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario Galaxy, and even the Donkey Kong Country section. Like, I didn't play too much Donkey Kong, but just seeing like all the animatronics of like Cranky Kong and everything, it's going to be so cool. And that's purely because I have never been to a Super Nintendo World at any of the Universal parks. I know a lot of people have been to Hollywood, some people have been to Japan. I've never been in one, and it's literally just going to be my childhood wrapped around me in an area. I wouldn't be surprised if I get emotional on the vlog. But yeah, I am extremely excited to go to Epic Universe when it does open, just around 4 months later. I can't wait. Are any of you visiting Epic Universe anytime soon? Leave it in the comments if you are, and leave in the comments what your favourite news story was from this week. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't already. See you next week.